Udisia discolor, and I believe in my last update it was in bud, and now some of the flowers have opened, so got a few. They're not all open yet, but they are opened. So just before Christmas I bought a frag longifolium, and it's doing okay. Spike is still alive, and it came in flower, but that flower has since fallen off, and the bud that was there has since opened, and it's a bit smaller, though I'm not surprised because it's been repotted, and it's growing in some very different conditions. So for what's still in bloom right now, I have this Oncidium Heaven Sent that is still in bloom. I can't take credit for this spike. I bought it in bud, but it smells wonderful. I had it in bud just before Christmas, and it's still in bloom. In the background here we have the Encyclia Vitulina with its 3 remaining flowers. But these have been open for 3 months now. Brassidium Golden Gamine White Knight is still in bloom, but with fewer flowers. They've started falling, but this is not unexpected, as these flowers do not last more than 3 weeks. But they are scented and they're absolutely wonderful to have. I love the detail of the flowers, and yeah, I recommend this guy. Also still in bloom is my Rhynchostylus gigantea. They're scented, and they're scented all day long, and for the most part all night long. Still hanging on is my Sophronitis or Cattleya cernia. What's interesting about this is that there are 2 plants on this mount, and this was the original one that I bought as a middle seedling. It is its first time blooming. The flowers are more orange. I don't think the camera will detect it, but the flowers are more orange and they're smaller than these 2. I bought this other mount below as a blooming sized plant, and they appear to me to be slightly more red. Anyways, these are the last 2. I mean, there were many more flowers at Christmas time, but these flowers are hanging on for some strange reason. And so as you can see, there are 2 different plants, but they both bloomed relatively at the same time. So this plant, an Oncidium Twinkle, was in bud last time, and a few flowers have opened. It's not completely open. I guess the closest thing I could think of is that it smells like caramel. The flowers are kind of lovely. White and orange. Behind there is my Brassavola Little Stars, and except for one tiny little bud here, I don't think you can see it on this side here. Everything else, all the other buds are now opened, and the plant is putting on quite the display. It's just amazing, and it smells quite strongly. I can smell this plant upstairs. I have a mezzanine here, and I can smell it at night. It just is so strong. So this is another view. Here's my last bloomer, Pachera Delight, with my cat Savick, who's 6.5 years old. Yeah, she's walking around quite a bit around the plant, but she is usually not a very destructive cat, so I let her do her own thing. This is not where the plant normally resides, so she's just curious to see what I'm doing. But to get back to the plant, the flowers are quite large. perhaps a bit paler than they were when it last bloomed, which was in August or September. So it didn't take long for this plant to rebloom, so I guess it had a good summer outside. Anyways, again, as I keep stressing over again, this plant is in lava rock, and the only care that it gets is that it gets soaked once a week, overnight, if possible, in a little bit of fertilizer and a little bit of seaweed extract. It seems to help. Even as it's in bloom, it is growing this leaf, so it's multitasking. So the latest news on this setup is this Vandico stylus Pine Rivers, which you've already seen in bloom before on my channel if you've been following. And yes, so in here you can see there it is. There's a spike here. It's like maybe 5 weeks ahead of schedule, maybe 5 weeks. Yeah, it spiked a bit later last year. And this Ascocentrum hybrid here, but there's maybe 1 or 2 spikes. I have to wait and see, but as you can see, the leaves are burgundy. I think it needs to be that color in order to bloom properly. So we'll see how it does this year, because the plant has grown considerably since I've had it now. So it's been in my collection for some time. So the plant is really coming on its own. And I don't know if I can show you, but it has, difficult to show you, but it does have keiki growing on it, so I'm very pleased about that.